This is the Impressions Exchange Podcast. Where all topics impacting the graphic imaging and printing industry are addressed via in-depth news coverage, analysis, and timely interviews.
Hi, I'm Denise Gustavson, Editorial Director for Printing United Alliance, and the guest host for the special Printing Impressions podcast series in celebration of Women's History Month, highlighting the women in the printing industry. During this series, I'll have the opportunity to talk with women from all segments of the industry about their experiences and their journey as a woman in the printing industry. So today, it's my pleasure to welcome Savannah Scarpulla. She's an account executive with Hatteras, based down in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. So welcome, Savannah.
Thanks, Denise. I'm so happy to be here.
So just to get us started, can you tell me a little bit about what you do? I mean, you're an account executive, so what kind of work do you do for Hatteras?
Sure. I am an account executive. It could technically be considered a glorified term for sales rep, but I sell. So I'm in sales. We are a commercial print company. Marketing communications is kind of our focus. So, I mean, you name it, we do it. To be honest, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint exactly what we do, from direct mail to secondary packaging to influencer kits. We kind of cover a broad range of different marketing communications. You walk into a Calvin Klein in North America, the graphics up on the wall are from Hatteras. Peter Thomas Roth, we just did influencer kits. You're on social media, you see some of those products, it's coming out of our shop as well. So a wide range of things, to say the very least.
Oh, awesome. So how long have you been with Hatteras?
It'll be 2 years in April.
Okay, so you're still kind of a newbie.
Very much so. I'd consider myself a rookie through and through. There's so much to know about print. So yeah, certainly.
So I'm guessing you did not decide from a young age, I'm going to be in print.
You would be correct.
So how did you get started in print? How did you end up at Hatteras?
Honestly, I was just looking for a career change. I was selling pharmaceuticals. Was out of college looking to get into pharmaceutical sales. The bigger companies, the bigger manufacturers aren't necessarily hiring people out of college with little sales experience. So I got into telesales. It was essentially a call center, but I learned how to sell there. I was looking for a change of scenery, a change of pace, and I stumbled upon Hatteras. I honestly loved the interview experience and the people that I met, and figured, honestly, it was a perfect fit. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I love it.
So what made the interview experience so interesting to you?
It was really just more so the people I was interacting with. Bill Dewar, our president, he's amazing. Morgan Sprangle, she's equally as amazing. And I just saw myself fitting in. I figured I could figure it out. I had taught myself to sell once before in the pharmaceutical industry. I figured I'd be okay getting into this, and it's worked out. So far, so good. So
now, obviously, you weren't planning on being in print. So what was your original career path? Did you just wanted to sell? Did you want to go specifically into pharmaceutical sales, or was it something else?
No, as like a young kid, I wanted to be a rockette. I wanted to perform. I wanted to be on stage. I was a little too short to be a rockette. I went to school for social work. I figured I was going to be a social worker. Kind of when I loved my social work courses. I loved the degree I have, but financially it wasn't going to get me where I wanted to end up. So those social skills, those people skills, and I applied them into a sales career, and it's worked out, and I love it. I like building relationships, so this is where I've ended up so far.
Awesome. Of course, I can't stop now thinking about you being as a rockette, because that would be awesome too.
I mean, I wish. I'm like 4 inches too short. It's really not an option, no matter how you slice it.
That's so disappointing that, 4 inches can be it could crush your dreams.
A simple 4 inches, but it got me here. So, hey, I don't know. I'm happy. I'll take it.
That's great. So, I mean, as you're moving through the company, you've been with Hatteras for 2 years, as you said. What has been like some of the biggest influences or people that have influenced your career? What have you learned from them? What have you valued as you're moving through, the start of your career?
Sure. I mean, print specifically, the people that I've already mentioned, Bill Dewar and Morgan Sprangle, they've really taken me under their wing. Again, I've had no no sales experience that I've had, no print experience. So there's just so much to it. They've been extremely supportive, and they've gotten me to a place where I'm really starting to build that confidence in myself. And without their support and their training and hand holding along the way, I don't know if I would have survived to this point. So I really give a lot of kudos to them.
Has there been anybody else that's really influenced you to kind of keep going when things got difficult for you?
I was raised by a single mom, so I can't help but mention her as well. I mean, that's where all my motivation comes from. I'm an extremely hard worker, and it's all come from the influence she set for me and what I've seen her do. So I'm an extremely independent woman, and I got to give that all to my mom, honestly.
Which is fantastic. It's, to see, to watch your mom, do what she had to do to bring you up, to raise a family, job, have all that stuff, it's great that you value that and you really see the influence that it's brought to you as you've grown up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had great women role models throughout. My grandma was a really strong personality. She was an extremely strong woman. Her husband died. She had 5 kids. She raised them on her own. So
Wow.
Again, it's a trickle down. My mom is strong because of her mom, and vice versa.
So that's fantastic. And that's going to help you be successful as you move on. And eventually, if you have kids, you can pass that along to them as well, which is really a great family heritage too.
Yeah, I pray to have a daughter of my own someday. We'll see what happens.
So now that's the question, as a woman a working woman, it's hard sometimes, you talk about possibly having a family, a daughter. Do you feel that you have to choose between a career or starting a family? I know that's kind of tough. You're early on, you're young, but is that something that's of a concern for you?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, essentially, I'm building a book of business, if you will. I'm building these relationships, and in the future, I genuinely would love to have a family, God willing, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the balance of it all. How can one possibly manage continuing the trajectory of their career while also putting 100% into their family? Again, I don't know, but yeah, it's extremely frightening to think about. But again, when the time comes, I plan to put it all into give it my all, if you will, and see what happens. Yeah, it's extremely scary, honestly.
Do you think that it's gotten better? I mean, obviously there's other women within the company. You've already mentioned Morgan as one of your role models too within the company. How has having women in positions long-term, in the company helped you, when you're looking at what you want to do, about balancing that work and life and family and career?
It happens all around me, honestly, every day. We have, I think, 3 customer service women coming back from maternity leave within the next few weeks. One of the ladies that I just started, actually, I started with her back in April 2021. She's pregnant currently. So, I mean, it's just something we're going to experience all together.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, we have a younger female sales crew, if you will. So I don't think we haven't necessarily experienced it at Hatteras yet, where a sales rep has gone out on a maternity leave and continued to be successful throughout. So, I mean, I'm a girl's girl. I will support her in every which way I can, just to be sure that she feels like she can give it her all at home while still being supported at work, and she can have it all. I don't know. I would like to lend a hand in whatever way I can, hoping that when the time comes, it's returned. I mean, they say it takes a village, and I'm part of that village, honestly.
It does take a village. And that's awesome, to think that way. Look, you're going to help, you're going to give now. Part of it is just because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
But then when you're in that situation, you hope that that's also returned to you, tenfold over as well.
Exactly. And that's by no means my thought process in doing it for my counterpart right now. But yeah, I mean, we have to be there, especially us women. We have to be there. So I'm all about it, in all honesty.
Now, unfortunately, women have had sometimes they get some bad stereotypes because you always hear, oh, well, she's the working mom. She works the mom hours. Or, some women that are very assertive or strong, they can be referred to in some probably not so nice words. How do you approach stereotypes like that?
I mean, I think it's super important to be cognizant of them and, of course, just self-aware in general. But I think it's just keeping your head down, working hard, proving that there's a way to like abolish the stereotypes just by your energy, your attitude. They're always going to exist, honestly, but I like to conduct myself in a way that I'm hoping I'm swaying the scale a little bit differently. They're just always going to be there, though. I hope to prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm. I know with some women, they also say, it just, they kind of just rolls off their back. Whatever. They can let them think what they think, but I know my worth.
Absolutely. I mean, it's exactly. You have to know your worth and just let that lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be people to put you down, no matter who it is, who you are.
Which is sad. Why can't we all just get along?
Be kind. Just be kind. Yeah. But I mean, I put out there what I wish to get back. So that's all you want, right?
Yep, exactly. So have you had any barriers in your career? I mean, obviously you've been in sales and in a couple of different roles in different industries. Have you been confronted with any gender related roadblocks in your career or any barriers that you've encountered?
I'd like to say no, but in reality, I think the answer is a hard yes.
Okay.
I try not to acknowledge that, and I try to stay in my lane, if you will, and not let that affect me. But yeah, I think so. I just not necessarily in my specific role that I'm in now, but just in like the disparity in pay in previous roles, things like that. And I've always kind of justified, they're men, they have a family to support. And I've caught myself like, what am I saying? I have a family to support. I need to support. Yes, absolutely. And I've seen myself falling into the same thought process, but I think it's our responsibility to keep us in check, to keep our authoritative figures in check, and we're equals.
It's tough with the pay disparities, especially in certain industries. I know hopefully Hatteras is not that way. There's other industries that it's really, really obvious. But do you think there's a way that women can address that better so that way, we are getting paid for the work done and not necessarily because of our gender?
I mean, I think it just boils down to having like the courage of your conviction, having the facts, standing up for yourself. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can go in to your boss with the facts, have them laid out for them, and hope that you get what you deserve. But yeah, just staying strong, standing up for yourself, speaking up when it's necessary. So much easier said than done.
It is. Talking about like standing up for yourself, certain characteristics that you have. What do you see as the characteristics in women that women bring to the workforce? Is there certain things that just kind of, not that they sit better, but women do a little bit better and really lend themselves to certain roles?
I think it's just like an extra level of care and concern. And maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but I do feel strongly about that. Somebody once said to me, women aren't allowed to be lazy. And it really, really like struck a chord with me, just because like I always feel like I go above and beyond because I have to. And I mean, I guess it's just that extra level of care. And not to say that men don't also have that and apply it in their roles, but I can't lie. You need us.
Yeah. I mean, come on, we're fantastic multitaskers. We're very good with detail. I mean, there's lots of things that women are just fantastic with.
How much time do you have, Denise?
I don't know. How much time do you need?
Too much. I mean, I just like I'll repeat it. I know I said it, but I am a girl's girl. I think we bring so much to the table, and I like to think that I'm always lifting up the other women around me, because sometimes we're not doing it for ourselves. So got to build each other up.
Mm-hmm. And that leads to the question, how can women support other women within their own organization? I mean, you've already mentioned some stuff, but are there other ways that we really can show our support and really offer support to women?
I think recognizing that there are external factors that affect us daily. I mean, sometimes I'm not in the best mood because I'm dealing with something outside of work, which I'm fully on board. Check it out the door. It's a work day, it's work hours, but I think it's extremely important to just understand, like, not everybody's life is perfect. They're not going home to a perfect situation. So just being kind, being a little more understanding of each other, and not like you said, letting things roll off our back maybe a little bit more than we would like to, because again, we have to work together. Mm-hmm. We have to support one another, lean on each other, not throw one another under the bus. I mean, that sounds silly to even say, but
yeah, we don't want to do that and then roll over back and forth and up and down a couple times. Yeah, that's not going to work.
No. Yeah, there's no place for that, honestly.
Yeah.
Being understanding of situations.
Agreed.
To be honest with you, but
so how important is it for you as a woman who is starting their career to have women in leadership roles?
Oh, extremely.
Why?
I mean, you need representation. And that's not to say that there aren't men that can be inclusive of their female team members, but I just think it lends itself to a more inclusive atmosphere. Again, women bring things to the table that maybe men don't, and vice versa. I would never deny that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important for it to be a collaborative leadership effort.
That's true. And for you, I think it's probably also important because that way you can see your path.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a very good way to look at it too. I mean, there's got to be something to strive for, a vision of what it could look like for a woman in print. So yeah, that's a really good point.
So how do you develop your leadership skills? Are there things that you're doing now that are helping you as you're growing in your career?
Yeah, right. I feel like right now I'm more so a sponge because there's just so much I still need to learn. Mm-hmm. But that's not to say that the next round of account executives that come in who have no idea, as I did when I first started, that I'm not going to be able to feel like a leader and I'll know 10 times what they do, which that'll honestly help boost my confidence a lot. It sounds silly to say, but it's true. I mean, to be honest, I think I'm a natural born leader, and I love to see other people be successful as well. So if there's anything I can do to help bring them up with me, I will. And I mean, Bill and Morgan, I'll refer to them the whole call, but Bill and Morgan are amazing leaders. So I have very good role models to look up to in that sense. So
be a sponge for as long as you can.
Yeah. If you're not learning, what are you doing?
Not much, unfortunately.
Exactly. No, yeah. I'm not interested in being a bump on a log. I'll be that sponge.
So, as we're wrapping up, looking at the print industry as a whole, which tends to be a little bit male dominated, I would say. There's a lot of men. It's just how it's always been. It's changing. It's changing a lot. I know within Hatteras, there's a ton of women that you work with that are within the ranks. How do you think the industry as a whole can get more women to be interested in print? Because obviously you weren't thinking about print as a possible career option.
It's really true. To be honest, I didn't even know that a company like Hatteras existed. It sounds so silly to say, but it's just the truth of the matter. And I mean, there's so much creativity to it. I think if people realize how much of a collaborative process it is, where I'm in sales, but sometimes I'm a designer, and sometimes I'm a prototype engineer. it's just, there's so many different aspects to it. It's so much fun. I think just getting more people to the shop, getting them immersed in what really goes behind a folding carton. I mean, it's a flat sheet, but then it's on the folder gluer and this is the finished product. It's exciting. It's really cool. Just, I guess, more exposure to young women of the world who don't necessarily know that this exists, this kind of position exists. They might have a creative knack. They might also have a sales edge, and they can merge the two and end up in print. Yeah.
What do you wish people knew about printing?
It's fun. It sounds so corny. And I think some people think I'm a saleswoman, right? Sometimes people think I'm selling what I do to them, but it's not my intention. It really is fun. I mean, you start off with a white prototype and you're imagining what the end result could look like. It goes through the press, it goes through the finishing, it gets to the handwork team, they're assembling the box, and you have this beautiful end result. It's kind of a thrill.
It is. I mean, there's a certain pride that goes with it because you had a part of it. You can now, if you had that prototype and it goes to full production, you could then walk in a store and, I helped create.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's riveting. And I mean, again, sometimes we're doing direct mail, postcards, trim to size. It's basic, but again, you have that tangible product at the end of it. It's really cool.
So I'm guessing you pay more attention to printed products now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, in a grocery store, I'm picking up the packaging, like, look at this finish. Look at this soft touch finish. My mom's like, okay, freak.
That's nice. Pat, pat, pat on your back and kind of keep going. You've joined a unique club. Welcome. Enjoy it.
Yes, we got to stick together, us print nerds, right?
Exactly. I do that all the time. I've been in the wide format industry. I've been in the print industry for 25 years. So it doesn't get better. I will warn you. You will continue to look at things and critique them. So don't worry about that. That is completely normal, but it's also part of the fun.
It really is. In a weird, twisted way, it's a lot of fun. Stressful, but fun.
So as a final question, what advice would you give to young women who are thinking about entering the printing industry?
Do it. Give it a shot. Give it your all. Be a sponge. Soak up as much as you can, but do it because it's very rewarding. I love it.
I can tell just from, how you're explaining everything and how you're describing everything, you love what you do. And it's really, really obvious. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And I want to wish you the best of everything as you move forward in your career at Hatteras.
Thank you, Denise. Thanks so much. It was so nice chatting with you.
Okay. Thanks, Savannah.